All right. Hello, friends. Welcome. Today is the day that those of us who grew up in the 80s and have major fandom with a couple of the folks on the era committee ballot are very optimistic, more so than we ever have been. And so we're getting together to try to have a live watch party where we find out if our childhood heroes are in fact bound for Cooperstown. I've assembled with me Adam's Card Closet. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
And Hitman 23, my lone Mattingly fan that was able to join. And Zach's Sports Cards. Welcome.
Hey, I'm in the field of dreams because I've been dreaming for years to see Dale Murphy in the Hall of Fame tonight, baby. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. And last but not least, Mike, Jayhawker Vintage Cards.
Hey, everybody. Go Murphy. Go Mattingly.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Eminem boys.
I feel like we are kindred spirits with this fandom, with guys that were considered at the peak of the sport for a limited time window. And now we're getting overshadowed by guys who took drugs and got inflated stats. So it's time for these guys to earn their rightful place. So I have got my phone going with the MLB Network broadcast. And when we get to the point that's supposed to be at 7:30 with the live announcement, I can crank up the volume and we can all hear what's going to happen. So in the meantime, we're here to just, reminisce, share some of our items, whatever we want to do, have fun leading up to this announcement. So we've got quite a few folks joined us in the chat, which is well appreciated. David, Peacemaker Cards, Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, Brock's Boys, Aaron Jordan, welcome. Lou Rock, couldn't make it on screen, I guess, but
Come on, Lou. I need some.
He's almost here. 5-cent wax, welcome. Algo Gary, welcome. Dog ate my card. 5714, that's Jim Faulkner, welcome.
Yeah, Jim.
Sven
Hey, Jim.
Patrick is here. Coach Neil, eBay, RJ collects sets.
RJ.
All right, Jim and Mark Meisner, welcome.
Mark.
Mookie Chilson. Mookie was not on the ballot this time. I'm sorry, Mook. But Staven Sports Cards, Lonely Basement, Keith, welcome.
Keith.
We got Jacob Dahl, Ground Chuck. I was fortunate enough to meet Kyle in person yesterday at the Portland, Oregon Front Row Card Show. So
Nice.
It was great to see you.
Cool.
I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but I've seen you regularly. Welcome. Killebrew Collector and Impact Player Collection. A nice assortment of folks. Thanks for joining us. All right. So first, just wondering, how optimistic are you guys? Adam, what do you think Murphy's percentage chance is to make that in your mind at this point?
Well, before this, where they announced the people that were voting today, I sit there and thought probably 50-50. I would sit there and kind of maybe give it a bump up to like 60-40, because I do feel like there's like Robin Yount and some of those guys were like clean, legit players that played in that era, and no dude was a beast and so on and so forth. So I feel like it's a better chance than previously, so it's his best chance ever, in my opinion. Yeah.
How about you with Donnie Baseball there?
Well, I think the groundswell over the last couple of years has been building and building, and I think people are looking back and looking at things a little differently. And just what he meant to the '80s baseball is you, like I said before we went on, you can't talk about '80s baseball without talking about Don. And just they made that that documentary on Donnie back in 2022 or 23, and I felt like at that point, things are starting to move in the direction. And then the last time he was on the ballot, I think he missed by 1 vote. I believe it was 1 vote. So I think the chances are really good. I'm going to probably say 95% chance. I'm hoping. I think he's got a
I agree.
really, really good shot. And I
I
might
think
cry. I might cry.
we all have it on video.
I was feeling the same way as you, Mike, as far as that I might cry.
I'm like, there might be some tears. There might be some tears.
Yeah.
We shall see.
All right, Zach, how you feeling about Murph?
Oh, I'm real excited. I don't know if y'all saw Del Murphy get interviewed on MLB Network on Friday, but I was watching him. And he seems very confident. I got a feeling he knows something that we don't know because he seemed real confident. I don't know. He probably doesn't, but it just seemed like he knows something that I don't know. And I got me really excited on Friday. I was so pumped. I mean, I waited for this day, y'all. I grew up, Dale grew up, went to church with me as a kid.
Wow.
I've been to Dale's house in the 80s.
Wow.
I went to see Superman as a kid, and I ran into Dale and Nancy, and my dad recognized Dale in the first name there. I mean,
he looks
Dale
like he could play Superman.
yeah, he was. I mean, he was carrying
awesome.
a baby on the back of his back, and there he is with Nancy and his kids. He had 5 kids, and there he is carrying around. And I just like, this is the biggest star in baseball right now. This was like 1982, 83, right when he was the MVP. So for me, I probably will cry tonight too, y'all. This is to me is bigger than, as an Atlanta sports fan, we don't win much. And this is probably about as big as the Braves winning the World Series in 2021 and also in 1995. This is huge for a lot of us that grew up in the 80s because Dale was all we had. We were horrible in the 80s. So this is a big night if we can get in. I don't know. I'm very confident about tonight. Super pumped, man. I'm super pumped to be here tonight. I'm really honored John asked me to be here. And I'm honored to be here with you guys tonight. So,
Likewise.
I love Don Mattingly as a kid in the 80s. I love Don Mattingly. And I'm hoping Murph and Don Mattingly gets in tonight. I think that would be just 2 of the best of the 80s getting in the Hall of Fame right there.
That would be
I'm super pumped.
awesome.
As a Braves fan, there's a rivalry between Braves and Yankees, but I'm a huge Don Mattingly fan too. I'm a huge fan of sports. I'm a homer, but I love all the teams and players as well. So I'm pulling for Don Mattingly as well. I hope he gets in as well.
All right, but before I get to you, Mike, I think RJ is looking to try to get banned from the chat there. So, not going to do it yet, but you're pushing it, buddy.
Yeah, he's a pro Phillies guy, pro Phillies.
Hey, don't forget his 1 season with Colorado too. Dale played 1 season with Colorado before he retired.
This is so weird. That's just such a weird, you don't think about that Colorado year.
Well, all right. Yeah, well, in this case, I do hate you, Orlando. At least I hate your opinion. So I don't hate you, the person. So
shut up.
I think it's going to be very interesting because I've studied baseball Hall of Fame history and stuff. If you've never read this book, you should get this book by Bill James. It's awesome. It talks about the Hall of Fame and just the different arguments and stuff and how to make the arguments and things for players. But for me, I thought it was very interesting. I can never pronounce his name right, but he's a sports writer, Tim Jerkson or something like that.
Kirkjian?
Yes.
Kirkjian. Yeah, Tim Kirkjian.
I'm from Kansas. I can't pronounce that stuff. But so he was on a podcast or interview, and I thought it was very telling because he's been in the room, I think 4 times for this. And he says the players are normally more than the writers or the historians, the anti-steroid guys. I mean, the ones that he's been a part of, they have really been adamant about not letting the guys who use PEDs come in. So I'm curious to see what this makeup will be. It's politics. There's the loudest voice in the room often in this type of a committee will do the sway, and they don't get to talk very long about the players. So it'll be interesting to see what this committee make up, if they are going to kind of put in a guy like Mattingly and Murphy and give them an extra bonus because they are clean players, and penalize those who may not have been so much. So curious to see how that's going to turn out.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Bill James. I picked up a book last week. I think it was in Goodwill. It's a big, thick baseball encyclopedia. And I was going through it and went to the first baseman. And This book was, I think, written in the late 90s, and Mattingly was number 12. And all the guys before him were in the Hall of Fame except for Mark McGuire. And the words he put on there, just it's I don't know, it said a lot to me. It wasn't a lot of words, and
Right.
sometimes less is more.
I know
And
what you're going
what
to say.
he said, Don Mattingly, 100% ball player, 0% bullshit. And I was like, that is
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. It just
That's
did
from his
something to me.
updated. That was from his updated baseball historical abstract.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay,
Oh
perfect.
yeah. So I grew up
Yeah.
in Lawrence, and when Bill was actually became very famous for writing and all those. He lived in Lawrence too, so I would go to old book sales, and we'd be like competing to get some of the used books. That's where I got a lot of my books from. And he would always bring signed copies of his abstract and donate to the library, and I
Oh, that's
snagged every
cool.
single one of them that I ever saw. So
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know if he was trying to spread them around, but I got most of those. I hoarded them all. But no,
Love
it'll
it.
be interesting to see. Do you guys, for the three that are, Sheffield, Clemens, and Bonds, are you guys completely opposed for them, or could you see a time where you could get them in?
I see a time.
Yeah.
I see a time. I just don't think it's now. I think they got to wait more. I just think, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I think they will get it eventually, but you have to let them, as my mom would say, an Italian phrase. You got to make them schiat for a little bit. Just kind of, Yeah, I think they'll eventually get in. I think they have to get in eventually because of the fact, like I said before, it's you can't talk about baseball without talking about those guys. They
Right.
did perform. I waffle back and forth, but they'll get in. But I think they need to wait. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how I feel.
For me, and it's not a popular argument now. I think nowadays people are more forgiving. Where I like to be more holding people accountable. That's just my personality type of thing. But Chris from Missouri was on live stream talking about the Hall of Fame when they were selecting who they would pick. And he made an interesting point that I hadn't thought about, but it's absolutely true. These guys didn't just cheat the game. They cheated out other players of recognition.
That's the part.
Yeah. Clemens had a stretch where he was struggling staying healthy. And then when supposedly he started using PEDs, he got stronger. He was able to survive and pitch a lot longer. Randy Johnson lost 2 Cy Young awards because of Clemens. I mean, if Clemens wasn't in the league, that's 2 extra Cy Youngs that Randy Johnson could have won. And that would have just taken him to a whole different.
Albert Pujols would have 6 MVPs if it wasn't for Bonds. Yeah. And I mean, that's crazy.
It's nuts. And that's the part where it kind of get hung up on that part right there. That's the part you're like, oh.
Carlos Delgado would have an MVP the year he lost it to Aroyd. And even if you look at if Carlos Delgado is clean, you look back at the fact that he only has 2 All-Stars. How many times was he blocked from the All-Star game by someone like Giambi being a Reuter at his same position?
Right.
Or I didn't, do a full analysis. How many maybe one of the other Reuters was blocking one of the spots too. So
yeah, I agree with Orlando there, and something that we talked about too. The commissioner had a big factor in all this PED stuff. But my thought process with all of this, with the steroids guys getting in and so on and so forth, I initially, when it first all started going down, whether the guys would get in during their first 10 years when they're eligible, was that I didn't think any of them would. And I think that was kind of like their punishment, their crime would be to not get in when they was first 10 years of eligibility, that it would take a ballot like this one here before they started getting voted in and so on and so forth. So I think slowly but surely some of these guys with these ballots, like even Orlando was thinking that Clemens and Bonds was going to get in tonight and so on and so forth. That's kind of how I feel it's going to eventually go down. With a couple of these kind of ballots, those guys will eventually start getting in.
I mean, personally, more pissed off at the powers that be surrounding baseball than I am with the players themselves, because this screwed up situation where we have some guys got in, Bud Selig's in the stupid Hall of Fame. I mean, and then now it's just this log jam of players with massive statistics and we're going to have to be dealing with this on these voting ballots for, I don't know, however crazy amount of time. And it's, do you vote for these guys with the massive statistics, or do you vote for these guys that got screwed over by the Reuters that were clean? And it splits the vote, and it ends up with like almost nobody getting in year after year. It's like all these guys would have naturally gone in with the writer's ballot, with those kinds of stats, but since they didn't, and it's just created confusion, and it sucks.
And it's one thing I always think about is just because somebody gets in the Hall of Fame, that should never by itself be a reason to put other people in. So, Bud Selig's in there, David Ortiz, who a lot of people think he's in there, just because one person's in there and maybe it's a mistake, you don't want to compound that by putting other people in there that are also a mistake. It's just hard for me to look at Clemens and Bonds because they were Hall of Famers before they ever started using, but they still used, and Orlando said this, and I agree. You cannot tell the history of baseball without those guys. It's just, what type of history do you want to be told? And what do you want to include in that? Do you want to include the good and the bad? I mean, do you want to put, I've heard people say put an asterisk on their name. Do you want to somehow, I've heard people say do a whole wing and say, here's the steroid era. I mean, it's just a tough thing to do. And it's unfortunate that we even have to think about that.
It is unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, it's a museum. It's a museum. That's what it is. It's a museum. And that's the point, where I waffle this way, it was like Orlando said, they were part of the game. It was, an intricate part of the game for a period of time, and you can't just ignore it. It happened.
Right.
But then you talk about players getting jerked out of all Hall of Fame or All-Star game or whatever. It's a tough one, man. It's a really, really tough one. It's a very tough one. It doesn't make it easy. Doesn't make it easy at all. So,
all right.
How are we looking, John? What time is it? What's the?
We got about 12 minutes, but we
boy.
got 66 people in here now with us.
Nice.
Let's get away from roids. How about we show some of our favorite items of our guy that we want to get into the Hall of Fame here?
All right.
Adam, you want to go first, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna flip my camera around, make it easier to show these cards right quick while you're getting me on the whatchamacallit.
All right,
Adam's gonna break out the card mansion, y'all. Look out! Here it comes.
All right, my camera is flipped around on there now, right?
Yeah, and we got you full screen to show what you got.
All right, cool. So first up the plate, I'm gonna share a couple of PC items that was gifted to me by that wonderful card community. So I will always cherish these a little bit more just because. Got this beautiful 87 Donruss Diamond King of Dale Murphy. And this is from, of course, Junior Baseball Fanatic 12, Mr. Leo. They gifted me this in 2023 at the Nationals.
Sweet.
So that is a prize, Dale Murphy. And then this one is the 88 Topps Dale Murphy. And this was gifted to me by BC Sports Cards. So those are a couple of my favorites gifted from the community. I know baseball collector Mr. Mike is a big 5-star guy, so I figured I'd show that Dale Murphy on the 5-star.
Oh, look at it. So nice.
This was one of my most recent pickups. I picked this up at a trade day here recently. Orange Topps Stadium Club Chrome. Of course, Stadium Club always has the most coolest pictures, and this is the orange refractor number 25. And of course, you can't have a Dale Murphy collection without the reverse negative.
Well, you can, but it's incomplete.
Yes. I'm a real big fan of these Leaf Certified and Donruss Elites and stuff like that back in the day. And this is the gold passing the torch, number 50. So much shiny shine. Of course, this is a pretty iconic set with a potential, what I would call the lock, the 84 Donruss set that's going to have the Don Mattingly rookie in here, but I got a collection autograph. So this is a buyback autograph of Dale Murphy.
That's cool.
That is beautiful. I've never seen that before. That is amazing.
Number to 11, you know, number to 11. And, you know, my boy Dale Murphy won 2 MVPs. I got a Dale Murphy MVP 82 on the Legends of the Summer. And I know I got one from that inscribed 83 somewhere. Let me see if I can't find it. But this is a really cool one too. Got the star there. Donruss signatures. Gallery stars. Just kind of reminds me of my childhood as well. Oh, this is the last one I'm going to share with y'all. And then we'll let somebody else share some cards. I got another numbered 111 from the KB Toy Stores. Brings you back to your childhood.
KB Toy Stores.
The baseball from Archives, autographed there as well. It's kind of a little bit harder to see. It's there. We'll pass the torch on to somebody else now.
Nice stuff. All right. You want to bring us some Donnie baseball?
I would love to. I'm not going to flip my phone because I'll probably wind up doing something technically where I'll be jumped. So I'm just going to put them up to the screen. Got to go with this one first because my wife got me this. This is my first ever Mattingly auto. This I had a couple years ago. This is a Topps tribute, Pillars of the Game. And so that was a gift from my beautiful, wonderful wife. So love that one. And another one, we'll go on the YouTube way here. A couple of gifts from YouTubers. This is a really special one. This was my 1000th unique Don Mattingly piece, and the person who sent this to me is none other than Eric Fourleaf, and it is an absolute stunning auto relic out of Topps Sterling. So that was from Mr. Eric Fourleaf, and I'll never forget him for that. Or forgive him for it. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Another one from now this YouTuber doesn't really make videos anymore, but this came to me a couple years ago from Carter's Kids. I don't know if you guys remember Carter's Kids, Steve. He sent me this great 87 Fleer All-Star signed by Donnie. So I thought it was a surprise out of nowhere. So I thought that was really cool. And then just some of the basics. I've got to show the triumvirate, the 3 rookie cards, of course. My favorite's the Topps. I like the Topps because of the action. I like action cards. But of course, we know that the Donruss is the one pretty much everybody wants to, add as his main rookie. Great set, beautiful portrait, great card, just amazing. I remember pulling the Topps rookies out of packs because I never got Donruss back in '84. It was really hard to find. I never opened packs of '84 Donruss until later. And then I got to show one of my favorite Donnie cards is his second to last, his Topps. I love his fielding shot on that. He was an amazing first baseman, and it's his only Topps run card showing him fielding. He's got a very nice Topps run. All of his cards are pretty much action, so which is pretty cool. And then I got, of course, throughout his last Topps card, 96 Topps. It's got the full career stats on the back, so I love that. And then recently, one of my favorite Donnie cards is this artist proof from Pinnacle, 96 Pinnacle, which just, it's just a gorgeous, beautiful card. The technology of yesteryear, the Dufex, which, what happened to Dufex? Where did it go? But just some beautiful stuff, very proud to have those all in the collection. So that's what I'm showing.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
Zach, are you able to show stuff with your background there? Or... oh, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, sorry, y'all. Yeah, let me take that off, and I can hang on. Let me I'm gonna take it off, and I can oh, hold on, let me go. I'll show y'all now. Bear with me, y'all. I have I ship a lot of stuff on eBay, so you'll see a lot of shipping boxes behind me. Sorry, y'all. So, and you see my lamp in my bed behind me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got some cool stuff here. I mean, I got a lot of the junk wax here. You know, there's Dale Murphy and the Hostess cupcakes
Nice.
card right there. There's 81 donors. Probably Adam sent me some of these cards. There's my starting lineup, Dale Murphy. This is all junk wax, but I love this. You know, I have probably a couple hundred Dale Murphy cards. But I mean, here's some more. I just want to show these. I love these. I love 85 tops. I'm a big fan. 85 and 86 tops. I just love those cards.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and I love that Don Mattingly you just showed. I was absolutely amazing. I love that card. That's one of my favorite cards as well. But I'll tell you a story. This is a pretty cool auto right here. Back in the 80s, we went to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. It was about 100 degrees. We waited in line for hours to get autographs from the Braves, and we didn't get a single one. So my mom, she sent a letter to the Braves, and they sent me this auto, a Dale Murphy auto, and Zane Smith. I don't know, great TTMer, Zane Smith, who pitched for the Pirates and the Braves. Auto right there, and on the back of it, it was like a lunch plate at a pig barbecue or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. So I always keep that. Y'all know who Ed Angry Old Man is? He's great channel, great TTMer. He sent me this awesome Dale Murphy auto. I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
But this is one of my favorite autos. I got a ton of Dale Murphy autos. You got to understand that as a kid, we went to church with Dale. So my dad would take Dale in the back room, like in church, and he would get all these autos from me. And he wasn't supposed to do it at church, but he was cool to my dad. And so this is a fan magazine. You get this when you go in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium at the Braves game. And this is from 1982. And here's like a fake auto down here, but then here's this real auto right here. And I super love this. I mean, look on the back. There's marbles. It's just old school, you know. It's back when you go. I just remember going to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. There'd be like 20 people in the stands, and it smelled like, I didn't know. I don't drink alcohol, so I didn't know what alcohol smelled like. So I always thought it smelled like Atlanta Fulton County Stadium because it just smelled horrible because you get some drunk guy yelling all the time out in the back. It was a crazy time. You had Chief Nakahoma. It was just a wild time in the 80s for the Braves fans. There weren't many of us. So that's some of my stuff. I have my starting lineup, Dale Murphy, I take with me all the time as well. And I got this other stuff. Those are some of my favorites I thought I'd share with y'all tonight.
And he's got a beautiful autograph. His autograph is beautiful. Like it's
I really
He
do.
has a nice, plain, legible autograph for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a couple more minutes till the big moment here. So, what do you got, Mike?
Well, I'll show my one cool thing, and then I'll show some stuff that just screams 1980s. So, this is the only autograph I have. It's a Dale Murphy, and this screams 80s too because it has like superimposed something on here. So, a friend of mine who's a dealer actually got that, and I snagged it from him. And I did have a nice surprise. So I did, of course, I found this one easy. This is his rookie card. But as I was looking for some other cards, I didn't even realize I had another rookie card. And this one probably looks even nicer than that one. That one's an 8. So I did find some cool stuff there. And then this is kind of dedicated to Jason, everyday card collector, and Aaron Value Vintage. So I was an oversized guy from way back in the day. So all my friends who collected junk wax, none of them liked the oversized stuff, which is stuff like I don't know if you guys remember these.
Oh, yeah.
I had that.
The Donruss All-Star. So I got lucky to find a lot of my junk wax is just in storage somewhere, and I don't know where it is. So I did find a bunch of these oversized cards from the 80s. Just, it makes you feel like a kid seeing these things again.
Yeah.
You know,
Stuff is so awesome.
Oh, yeah. And for me, Dale Murphy, and I was telling these guys a little bit beforehand, I'm from Kansas, and so all we ever got on TV was the Royals. Now, the Royals were good. Oh, I want to show these big ones, too. So these are the super size. And the 85 set is awesome. They're both really cool. But Dale Murphy came into my life about the same time I really started collecting in 82. And so a year or two before that, we got WTBS out of Atlanta. We didn't get WGN until I was almost out of high school. So the Braves became a team that I loved to watch. And Dale Murphy was, after Nolan Ryan and tied with George Brett, Dale Murphy was my favorite player. I was always an outfielder, and I was a decent ball player, but I was built like Dale Murphy. I was tall for my age. I was gangly. And so I patterned my game after Dale Murphy. And like I was telling these guys, VHS, I have a VHS tape somewhere, probably 100 and some of his at bats, because every game I watched of him, I would record his at bats. So he was just such a nice, good guy. I would love to meet him. I kind of feel jealous of Zach there a little bit, but I mean, if you want to put a guy in a Hall of Fame with good character, I mean, you can't get better than Dale Murphy.
For sure.
Is it starting?
They are starting to talk about it. I have not, but yeah, it's coming here. I feel nervous.
Thanks, Greg. Awesome being here. It's so fun.
Yes.
I am so envious of anyone that could be in that room with that committee. How is it executed, the vote? How does it go down? Do all the members of that committee get a chance to stump for one of these candidates?
Yeah, it's actually far simpler than I think people think. It's some sort of crazy machination, but the reality is it's basically a name comes up, all 16 people have a chance to talk about that person, and then we move on to the next name, and then we give people a second chance as well. But everybody can say something. They don't have to say something, and it's, I believe, a very fair process to give people a review if they didn't get elected from the BBWAA.
Shout out to Reindeer Studios.
Now, when the Hall of Fame calls current Hall of Famers that are already in, are they excited about this opportunity? What is the general consensus of how they view this responsibility?
Yeah, I think all of them recognize that that's part of being a Hall of Famer, is being willing to help us sort through that. It's not an easy
I don't
task,
know. I do
but you
not
can
have
imagine the weight of their
express
voices
written
matters a
consent
lot
of
in that
Major League
room.
Baseball.
And,
No, I don't.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, every once in a while, you have somebody who's got something going on. They can't make it down, but they want to be a part of it. And you saw the names. It's an incredible group.
All right, this is the big moment right now. There are so many fan bases, so many men waiting to hear their name. Josh, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Greg. On behalf of Hall of Fame Chairman Jane Forbes Clark, our board of directors, and the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee that convened earlier today, it is time to reveal the results of this election. Today marks the first announcement to determine who will comprise the Hall of Fame's class of 2026, with the Baseball Writers Association of America casting their ballots throughout the month of December. The results of that process will also be revealed here on MLB Network live on January 20th from Cooperstown, New York at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And as you saw, the Contemporary Baseball Era Voting Committee was comprised of historians and longtime writers Steve Hurt, Jason Stark, and Tyler Kepner, respected baseball executives Mark Attanasio, Doug Melvin, Artie Moreno,
Come on.
Kim Ang, Tony Regans, and Terry Ryan, and a group of Hall of Famers, Ferguson Jenkins, Jim Cott, Juan Marichal, Tony Perez, Ozzie Smith, Alan Trammell, and Robin Yount. Earlier today, that 16-member committee reviewed a distinguished group of 8 players whose primary contributions to the game began after 1980. In arriving at their individual decisions, the electors took into consideration the following criteria: the player's record, playing ability, integrity, sportsmanship, character, and contributions to the game. As you mentioned, the 8 candidates on the ballot included Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Carlos Delgado, Jeff Kent, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Gary Sheffield, and Fernando Valenzuela. And now it is my honor to reveal whether any of these candidates will be celebrated in Cooperstown next July 26th when the Hall of Fame induction ceremony seen here on MLB Network takes place. The Contemporary Baseball Era Committee has selected one new member to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. He played 17 seasons with the Blue Jays, the Mets, the Indians, the Giants, the Astros, and the Dodgers, retiring as the all-time leader in home runs as a second baseman with 351, his 377 career long balls coming at that position. Today, Jeff Kent becomes a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame's class of 2026. A lifetime 290 hitter with an 855 OPS, he notched 2,461 hits, including 560 doubles, good for 30th all time, and the third most among all players during his career. During a 9-year stretch from 1997 to 2005, he averaged 28 homers and 110 runs batted in, and registered 8 100 RBI seasons.
Sorry about that.
He was named the National League's most valuable player in 2000 when he batted .334 with 33 homers.
I don't need to hear any more of that.
Wow. I mean, he's deserving. Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
agree. He deserves
anybody
to be in.
predicted that one.
If I only
Wow.
seen one guy getting in, I thought for sure it was going to be Mattingly
Me too.
out of the bunch. I
Yeah, I
did not
did too.
see it being Kent being the one.
Most home runs ever at a position would be in
I
the
guess
Hall
the
of
only
Fame.
key info now is who got 5 votes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which yeah.
The only thing I want to say is, as someone who has studied the Baseball Hall of Fame for, not that I'm an expert, but
yeah, I'm gonna.
the voting has always been ridiculous from the very beginning. It's never been a good thought out process. They've changed the voting literally a dozen times, and it goes to show you that sometimes the people who vote don't know what the heck they're doing. Not that Kent isn't deserving, but come on. I mean, that's the one guy you guys are going to agree on.
Well, I mean, that's I see the votes. We got Delgado with 9, Mattingly with 6, and Murphy with 6. Everyone else got fewer than 5.
Wow.
So it was a clean ballot, if you will. They were anti-roids.
Oh man.
That doesn't surprise me. I figured if they were going to vote somebody like Kenton, who I don't think is not deserving, but man,
right.
I don't think anybody ever looked at Jeff Kent ever. And this is where I go back to Bill James Keltner list on all his different criteria. I don't think anybody ever thought for any period of time that Jeff Kent was the best player in baseball. You could say that about Murphy. You could say that about Mattingly. And I'll leave the Roy guys out because I wouldn't vote for them. But that's the thing that kind of surprises me that he got in over guys who, yeah, they had a shorter peak maybe, but man, that's kind of surprising. Not as bad as Harold Baines, but you know.
Wow.
I think it goes back to the logic, you know, the loud voice inside the room, whatnot, kind of syndrome with that, you know.
It's always been that way. I get into arguments with my buddies who are Cardinals fans because I talk about when Frankie Frisch was on the Veterans Committee, and then later
getting
Bill
all
Terry,
his buddies in at the
they
time.
got all their ex-teammates in. I mean, just and those are some of the worst players in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know.
Man.
I was kind of surprised by this.
Wow, me too. I was not expecting that.
I thought that they would make a point to not put the steroid guys in, but I thought that they would. I actually thought it was going to be Mattingly, Murphy, and Kent. When I was
yeah,
on earlier,
yeah, and those are the three. Those are the three I've been talking, like saying, like.
I agree with the comment right there. Kent would have never even had his stats if he wasn't batting in front of Barry Bonds, the steroids guy, you know, and so on and so forth too, though. So
yeah, Mike, are you okay?
I am fine. No, my stupid phone always does this. Like I'm sideways.
Because I like the
no, I'm totally fine. I'm sideways.
Mike is representing how all the committee members were sitting where they were contemplating these guys. They weren't in their right minds. They were all crooked in there.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, RJ enjoyed us fidgeting. So.
This is just fun.
So, John, what's the rules now with how it's made up now? Are any of these guys eligible for the next go around? Didn't have to get a certain amount of votes?
Delgado, Murphy, and Mattingly are eligible for the next ballot in 3 years. That'll be for the same era. The other 4 guys that got less than 5 are ineligible for the next round. And if they then go on another ballot and get less than 5, supposedly with the new rules that they change every 20 years,
right,
they'll be gone forever.
Yeah.
So,
well, y'all, you know what I did today? I made a video celebrating Del Murphy getting into the Hall of Fame. And during the middle of all that, I had to go take it off and put it on private. I poured 3 cans of Sprite and I ran through my yard, and it was a wild video. And I just had to go through on my phone and put that on private and delete it. And I'm gonna keep it private for 3 more years.
I already commented on that video too.
Oh yeah. We're waiting 3 more years, but I'm gonna keep it there for 3 more years. So.
And what was the number of votes the guy had to get in?
It required 12 of the 16.
12. Okay.
So it's the 75%, just like the writer's ballot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember Jeff Kent being a. Like I said, I would have voted if I had to vote for 3. He would have been my 3rd.
Yes, absolutely.
But
I did just not see that coming like that. Like,
he also wasn't, known to be the nicest of guys either.
No.
And, I know there's a lot of jerks in the Hall of Fame, but if these guys are contemplating that, then that might be a surprise. I really thought that they were going to stick it to the steroid guys, but putting in Murphy and Mattingly.
That is the question. Does anyone collect Jeff Kent?
They will now.
Jeff Kent's mom.
Everybody's searching eBay for those Jeff Kent rookies.
Seriously.
All the autographs just went up. He don't have many autographs either, so they are going to go up.
What year is his rookie? I don't even know.
92. I think 92 Pinnacle. I think is his rookie. I'm almost positive. I think. Somebody out there will tell us.
All right. Well, we got 92 Fleer update as the answer from It Cometh an Egg.
Okay, 92 Fleer update. Yeah. That ugly ass set.
Have you ever seen the baseball card?
Fleer.
Huh?
Yeah, 91. Ever seen the Donruss 9? Was it Donruss 90 or 91? Mr. Dirt, Mr. Clean, and it has Lenny Dykstra and Dale Murphy in there.
I think that's 91. I think it's 91.
Yeah. So maybe Barry Bonds goes in with Dale Murphy, Mr. Dirt, Mr. Clean, or maybe a steroid era comes in.
There you go.
Think about it. I was thinking they could bring back that baseball card. One of those guys go in with it.
Oh man.
I'm an Atlanta sports fan. We're full of disappointment. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons losing to New England in the Super Bowl. How many World Series did my Braves lose in the 90s? So I feel kind of like that, but we just keep chugging, man. Because one of my teams did win this weekend, and that's called my other alma mater, my Georgia Bulldogs. So I'm pretty excited about them too. So I had one of the 2 of my teams win this weekend. Shout out my dogs.
Dale did not make it. I'm sorry. I know Roll Tighter Man is another Dale Murphy fan.
Huge Braves fan.
Man.
Wow. I really thought Kent would be like number 3 out of 3 people going in if he got in. I didn't think he'd be the sole person to get in.
And with the huge backlog seemingly of valid second baseman, it surprises me that Kent suddenly gets it. It's just the whole chicks dig long ball thing, I guess.
I mean, I would rather see Lou Whitaker in the Hall of Fame. I know he wasn't part of this, but he's going to be up for one of those. But Lou Whitaker definitely should be in there.
In terms of net career, Lou Whitaker, Bobby Gritch, blow away Jeff Kent.
I would put Willie Randolph in there before I would put.
Yeah, those 3 guys, both all have better careers. They just didn't hit home runs.
No.
And Hall of Fame voters appear to be like chicks.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of pitchers on that committee, it sounded like, too. Maybe they
I don't know. Does anybody know when the writers' results get announced? I'm not sure on that.
Did they say January? I thought that at the beginning of their little introduction, they said something about January, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I know it's always a while later.
End of January, maybe?
Probably somewhere. Oh, somebody thinks January 20th. So, no doubt. What a buzzkill of an announcement.
Seriously, that was a big buzzkill.
Well, I wrote in the description we either celebrate or commiserate. So there we
January
go.
20th. January the 20th is the date.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. But
Yeah.
if anybody is joining late, Jeff Kent is our newest Hall of Famer. And the folks that got 5 votes are Carlos Delgado, Mattingly, and Murphy. Fernando and the Reuters, not so much.
You know, the last ballot Murph was on, he was way down there at the very bottom. And I do have to say, I'm going to say something positive here because I'm heartbroken. And I know a lot of people are here, you know, Mattingly fans and Murph fans are very disappointed tonight. But, hey, he's gone up. He's getting up there. Maybe he has a chance in next. I really do think that, you know, it may take a while, but maybe he gets in 3 years. I'm optimistic. You never know. We'll do this again another 3 years and see what happens. I'm going to try to be positive.
Well, now I don't have to worry about going to Cooperstown in July.
Yeah. And you know what? That PSA 10 Dale Murphy rookie card that I wanted to buy is not going to go up in value. So
go get it now.
Now they can go back down to the 3 month ago price points because they already got that inflated bump. I was talking to John about that earlier. Man, they have gone up so much here recently.
What?
Oh, wow. The app on my phone does not let me take a screenshot of the streaming of the TV station. So
interesting.
It's all black in my saved photos. I was trying to just capture where they showed the voting tally to show it on the screen.
Maybe.
Zach?
Zach needs to upgrade the high speed internet here.
He's trapped in a time warp.
It's one of those things I wish they could record the discussions because I've always wanted to be a fly on the wall to hear.
Yes, that would be cool.
Because I know what it was like from research when guys like Frankie Frisch was in there and he would say, "Hey, I played next to this guy. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame before that guy." And then he was putting in guys that have no business to being in there. I wonder what the discussions were for this one. If
That's
it got
a
hot, if it got
good
hot
question.
It sounds like if the 3 PED guys on there didn't get hardly anything, I think that they weren't much of a discussion at all.
All right. Theo says it's time for everybody to have a rant now. So everybody let your full petty fly.
That's right. If you're saying we need our Mike Petty wigs like everybody else has been getting now.
Yeah, we are disappointed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man.
Yeah, it blows. It blows. I really thought it was going to happen. I really was feeling good.
I don't know. I think whoever placed a bet in one of those betting things on who was going to make it, and Jeff Kent might have made a good return because I don't think he was too high on the.
Out of all the choices, Jeff Kent being the solo was probably like a really, really long shot for sure.
Yeah. Crazy. I tell you, crazy.
But right here, Jason Everyday Card Collector loves it when we pile on to Harold Baines. That the fact that no one ever viewed Harold Baines as a Hall of Famer during his career, but we sure did Dale while he was in his prime. So.
And I bet when Tony La Russa was on that committee, he was talking a lot about why Harold Baines should be in the Hall of Fame. That's how it works. That's how it works.
MVP, led the league back-to-back years in home runs the following 2 years. And like a 7-year stretch that was, he's the top 1 to 3 best baseball players in the game. Go Dale Murphy.
It would be nice to know who voted for who. But
yeah.
All right, y'all. Sorry, my computer just crashed, y'all. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, that's a
Our
good
whole
deal.
show just crashed a few minutes ago. So
Yeah, my phone just crashed. It's not. I can't get it back up or straightened up. Ah,
well, Andy was
Great.
prepared. So there you go. Time to put those on eBay.
Right.
ah.
Yeah. Whoever thought people would be shill bidding Jeff Kent cards? That's what the world's come to. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm surprised too that Delgado got more than Mattingly and but I guess
That-
not.
yeah.
If that was the one in, it'd be kind of Kent and Delgado would be the two together that are kind of clean guys of the Roids era in people's eyes.
Yeah, the secrecy is kind of bothering me. It's kind of like grading. Why are there no grading? Why can't we, the public, know? I mean, I'm one of those guys that just because somebody played the game doesn't mean that they know very much about the game. I mean, I've always been somebody who believes that at some level the fans should have a say. I don't know how they would design that, how they would do that. But just the writers and these old executives and players, they've just made so many mistakes over the years, and it's diluted down the quality. I don't know. There could be a better design system, but how long has it been around? Since 36, 37, and they still haven't figured it out.
Well, I can't say this is the result I was looking for, but it was
Yeah.
much nicer to hang out with you guys than to cry alone. So
Right.
We got about 5 minutes before we should wrap it up because Alex Bowman 53 will be coming on as usual at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, but
Sounds good.
yeah, any last thoughts from anybody before we depart?
Nope.
3 more years, right? 3 years ago.
3 more
wait for the
years,
next
baby.
one.
3 more years.
That's right. Down.
Let's all be back here and celebrating when we do it next time.
Screw the committee. Screw the errors committee.
That's
Hell with
right.
them.
Now I'm very curious to see the one that's the prior committee who they put on there. Like, are we going to have just Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe right away on the first ballot for the prior era now, or that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I think next year is supposed to be the managers / contributors to the game ballot. So
that'll be riveting.
Yeah, that one's not not as interesting, clearly, but hopefully the Kurt Flood can get some love on that one finally. Maybe.
Kurt Flood, Veda Pinson, those are the ones.
So,
and Kurt Flood should definitely be in there with his contributions just alone there. Huge.
Oh yeah,
huge.
All these guys making fortunes with free agency have him to thank for
100%
pave the way. But yeah. So everybody, thank you for coming to watch this.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's great.
Well, at least we're all suffering. Not one of us.
We're not suffering alone.
In there, and
it would have been a little awkward for us if Mattingly got in as the solo guy.
Oh, that would have that would have been a little weird.
But yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. Tune in to Alex Bowman 53 at 8, 4 Collectors at 9. Everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you again in 3 years.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.